Thank you so much.
All set. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to DeSerafino Stadium on the campus of Downingtown High School. It's Ches-Mont soccer coming your way. A knockdown, drag-out fight coming up for you here between the Westchester Henderson Warriors in the all-maroon, moving right to left here, and the host, Downingtown High School Whippets, in the blue and yellow striped kit here tonight. Welcome aboard. I'm Jeff Elliott with ESVN, the Eastern Soccer Video Network. Glad you could be here. These are two teams that basically you got to throw out the record book when these two teams go at it. Westchester Henderson comes in here with a gaudy 11-1-2 record. They are 2-1 in the Ches-Mont League. Downingtown, a bit of an off year for the Whippets. Graduated a lot of seniors last year. They're 7-6-2 overall, just 1-3 in the league. These two teams did play a few weeks ago. Westchester Henderson won at 1-0, but it wasn't easy. And I got to tell you, I had the privilege a year ago to do both Westchester Henderson Downingtown games, and a privilege is exactly what it was. Two of the finest high school games I've seen in over 20 years following high school soccer. But right now, let's talk about the 2002 edition. The Westchester Henderson Warriors on the move right now. Sean Osborne has it stripped over there on the far side by number 4, Brian Rawlings. Senior night here tonight at the Serafino Stadium for the Whippets. Just before the game started, all the Downingtown seniors were honored along with their parents. Good crowd building here, as it always does for these two when these two teams get together. Here is number 9, Fred Chambers. He's somebody to keep your eye on. Freddie Chambers has one of those national gold medals hanging in his room at home, plays for the FC Delco Club. His Arsenal team won the under-18 national title this past summer. Explosive is about the best word you can use to describe Fred Chambers, but right now it's the Downingtown Whippets on the move. Ball played back here, and that's number 42, Brent Schneider, sophomore, knocking it ahead. Played out wide to Greg Hahn, the senior, all the way across the box. And that is Steve Krahek in net for the Warriors. Gone is longtime goalie Greg Flaherty. Krahek stepped into the breach. And right now it's number 14, Dave Flamer down the right side. Flamer on the move, cannot get around Chris Brenza over there. Brenza wearing a number 23 shirt for the Whippets. Well, Downingtown really just 2 years removed from 2 consecutive years of winning the state AAA title. That's the kind of program they have here in Downingtown. Long, a District 1 powerhouse and a state powerhouse have been the Whippets. Westchester Henderson just more recently has ascended to that sort of consideration. They've been very, very good over the past 3 or 4 years here. Last year they just seemed to come up a little short against the Whippets, but again, Downingtown struggling a bit this year after graduating so many high caliber players, a lot of whom are playing in Division I soccer, or well, I should say playing collegiate soccer at least, some in Division I, some Division III. Right now, here's the Warriors, number 17, Rob Tuttle, a diagonal ball, touched inside, looking for Chambers, but played away by Mark Ronzon. And then a nice play there by number 13, Greg Hahn, to take it off and away from Fred Chambers. Long ball forward, but tracking back quickly for the Warriors. Central defense, and now they're going to try the right side here. That's Mike George, the junior over there. George, a real wide body. It's like a freight train coming at you. He, along with Sean Osborne, give the Warriors quite a physical presence out on the field. Osborne, of course, wears number 22. But it's going to be a goal kick right here for Zach Collins, who's in the net for Downingtown. Here's a head ball forward, and on the move was Chambers, and Chambers had the ball hop up on him. Ronzon kept it away, but now the Warriors try it again. Nice turn inside there by number 22, Sean Osborne. Almost got it through, but the central defense of Downingtown held right there. Now they're going to try the left flank. Ball comes right down the middle, picked up by number 17, Rob Tuttle. Tuttle's going to go long. They're going to try to spring Chambers every time they get the chance. Chambers now holds in the midfield, waiting for the run. He has it from number 4, Ryan O'Donnell. O'Donnell out wide, and look out. And is that in or outside the box? Tough to tell from our perspective. It is in the box, and this one is going to the spot. Oh boy. Well, a bad break for the Whippets right there, but I must confess it looked like a foul from our vantage point, and of course if it was in the box, well, this is the result. Everybody thinks the pressure's on the shooter in a penalty shot, but the goalie not expected to make a save, but you know, the goalie a little nervous too. Zach Collins facing down Fred Chambers here. Let's see what happens. Chambers goes out wide to the right, and Collins had started to move the other direction, so the Warriors up on the board early here on a PK. That goal coming in the 4th minute. I'm sorry, we're going to put that in the 5th minute. Fred Chambers with the PK. Dan Rothar in the middle of the field gets sandwiched between a couple of Warrior defenders. Ball played out wide by Dan Flaherty, number 6 initially, and now Downingtown brings it back. They send it long diagonally, but Bryce McIntyre has it lined up for Henderson, Westchester Henderson. Mike Barrar has it out on the right side. Flamer sends it long. Ronzon slipped. Chambers slotted it in the middle looking for Sean Osborne, and then Osborne lost his footing. Of course, we are in it is October, and it has gotten quite cool here. One can see your breath in the air, and that means we're probably in for increasingly slick conditions as the night wears on here. You may see a lot of slipping and sliding here at DeSerafino. Flamer is going to shoot from outside. Ball goes wide to the left, and Chambers can't quite get there. It's going to be a goal kick for the Whippets. And a substitution here early on for first-year head coach John Hatt of the Whippets. John Hatt, of course, a member of the Hatt family who's so long been involved with the Downingtown Spirit United Soccer Club. John Hatt, I believe, went here to high school. He had been coaching over at Coatesville, but when Greg Wilson departed after last year to be an assistant coach at Penn and to take charge of being the executive director of the Eastern Pennsylvania Youth Soccer Association, John Hatt threw his hat into the ring here at Downingtown, and here he is. Here come the Whippets, and this is only our second opportunity to see the Whippets this year. We saw them earlier in the Downingtown tournament final, actually, against Radnor High School, and they fell in overtime in that one, 2-1. We have not seen the Henderson Warriors this year, so looking forward to this one. Unfortunately, tonight with the striped shirts for Downingtown, a little tough to pick up those white numbers on the back. We'll do the best we can for you. Restart opportunity here for Westchester Henderson. Long ball sent forward. Osborne up for the header, slips it ahead, and then losing his footing in there was not sure who that was. Might have been Josh Harris on the backside there. Now I don't. No, that was number 10 back there, Sean Ashenhurst, who was just into the match. Ashenhurst, the senior, playing on defense. And here's Chambers. Chambers working in traffic, has it knocked away nicely there. Here come the Whippets. Brian Rawlings takes it out to the left side and then loses it over the far touchline. It's going to be a throw-in for Westchester Henderson. Mike Lorbach, the head coach of Henderson, he's been there for quite a few years. Ball across the back of the Henderson defense, picked up in midfield by Dan Flaherty. Flaherty slots it ahead, looking for Osborne. Here's Chambers on the move. Chambers gets in, but what a great save there by Zach Collins, who read it and came well off his line to smother that play before Chambers could really get control of that ball. And what are they called? Offsides? Interesting call there. Or a hold, whatever. It's a restart for Downingtown. They get it out to the center circle, but Dave Flamer corrals it, stripped over there on the far side by number 23, Chris Brenza. Brenza plays it down the left flank and runs it over the touchline. Throw in for the Warriors. Long throw in, headed up by Downingtown and out, I think, and it's the Warriors are going to try it again. Going to move it up the field a little bit this time. I believe that's Barrar with the throw in over there. Headed out again by Downingtown, and Westchester Henderson slowly creeping up the field here. This time long down the line and over the head of Mike George. George gives chase. Flamer touches it, but Downingtown gets control. They try to get it ahead to Rothauer and misfired just a tad. Regain control, and now they've got it at the midfield line. Nice setup here by the Whippets. They get it down into the box, and it's going to be pulled out of there. Nicely, that's number 10, John Elliker, in the back for the Warriors, and steaming down the right side is Mike George. And they say he was fouled over there. I think it was Ashenhurst who came out, and you got to applaud the courage of Ashenhurst. Right now, probably the smallest player on the field, and he was up against one of the big ones, Mike George, who had a lot of that mass times acceleration, if you know what I mean. Elliker steps up out of the back here to restart this for the Warriors. Elliker, just a sophomore. Long into the box, Zach Collins picked it up right at the penalty spot though. Collins gets it out to the center circle. O'Donnell got a foot on it. Got it again. This time he lost it out of the far touchline, and now a couple of substitutions for Downingtown.
7, Kevin Turner. Number 18, Derek Bragg into the lineup for Downingtown.
And you may hear our stadium announcer there who beat me to the punch. Kevin Turner, number 7, and number 18, Derek Bragg into the match. Of course, he has a good look at the numbers from his side of the field. Ball bounding around on the far sideline there. The Whippets finally gain control at midfield, drop it back through Josh Harris. I'm sorry, through there's number 42, Brent Schneider, the sophomore defender. And now here come the Warriors down the left side. Well, Westchester Henderson has had the best of it here in the early going. They do have the 1-0 lead. And here's Mike George in, and there it is, just wide of the right post. George went with the outside of the left foot, but didn't get it. And into the match for the Whippets, number 22, Eric Hammond, replacing number 17, Dan Rothauer. Perhaps Coach John Hatt looking for a little bit more speed up top. Hammond will give it to you, that's for sure. And Hammond took off right there. McIntyre plays a little scrum here. Whippets are going to try the left corner. And Dave Flamer hustles out and pokes it out of harm's way, at least momentarily. Throw-in is played back to the Whippets and then out off Westchester on the far side. Quickly put back in play. And then stripped there. That was Ryan O'Donnell. Dave Flaherty in the middle of the field, and once again, the Warriors go long looking for Fred Chambers. Mark Ronzon right up the middle. Hits Flaherty. Flaherty tried to launch Chambers, but again, picked off in the middle there. That time it was Brent Schneider who was in the right spot at the right time for the Whippet defense. There's Schneider with the ball right now. Chambers challenged. Schneider stayed with it, and now Ronzon pitches in to help out.
That's some grimy-ass stuff.
Brian Rawlings takes it forward, but the Whippets can't control. Flamer challenges, and now the Whippets perhaps a chance down the left flank, and still, nope, now it's out of bounds, they say. Interestingly, tonight we do have the three-man system. I'm not sure if that is always the case for the referees in the Ches-Mont League. If so, always better to have three than have two, I suspect. The only wrinkle, of course, is the PIAA wrinkle, which allows all three referees to have a whistle, and that is the downside to this three-man arrangement. Throw in for Downingtown down the left flank. And we are just having a devil of a time picking up the numbers on the Downingtown jerseys over on the far side. Here come the Warriors out of the back, slotted it central. O'Donnell calls for it. Has the outside run on the left side, but played it too far ahead, did O'Donnell. And Bryce McIntyre couldn't get to it. It's a throw-in, however, for the Warriors. Number 17, Rob Tuttle, drops it in. Chambers keeps it alive, pokes it inside, but the only person there, number 6, Josh Harris, for the Whippets. Harris has moved up into a midfield spot, started out defensively, I think. Dave Flamer on the move. Flamer takes it out to the right corner, and it's a foot race right now, won by Downingtown. That was, I think, number 3, Ryan Marks, who's into the match for the Warriors, who was gone after it over there. O'Donnell plays it in the middle, knocked out by the central defense of Downingtown. I believe that's number 18, Derek Bragg, who poked it away initially, but the Warriors continuing to press the attack here, and they have Downingtown pretty well bottled up here in his first 15 minutes or so. 40-minute halves, of course, in Pennsylvania high school soccer. Both of these teams are AAA class, which in soccer is the largest class of schools in the state. Actually, all 4 of the teams in the Ches-Mont fit into that category. And even after Downingtown splits, which we hear is actually finally going to happen next year, that both of those schools will still be AAA teams. Freddie Chambers on the move, but Mark Ronzon's right with him, and they're going to call Chambers for running up Ronzon's back.
Let's go!
Ronzon sends it central here. Up high for the header. That was Bragg, but played away by Westchester. Now Flamer misfired on that one. Dan Flaherty is going to pick that one up. And Flaherty has O'Donnell on the move. O'Donnell tried to go inside. Could not. Played across by number 13, Greg Hahn. And a foul called at midfield. Rob Tuttle down the line looking for Chambers. Ron's on right on him. Chambers always draws a crowd. Look at him starting to hang out this way. Nice double team by Josh Harris of the Whippets. I'm sorry, that was number 13, Greg Hahn, who helped on the double team there, I think. In any event, it results in a Whippet throw in here, and Mark Ronzon's going to have to take it a few yards back. The Whippets control, float one into the box. Hammond couldn't quite get under that one, and now it's at the Chambers on the left side. Chambers has some people open in the middle, and then Ryan O'Donnell had trouble with it initially, hounded there by Mark Stevenson, number 11 for Downingtown. Ronzon intercepts the pass, but Chambers gets after it, leaves it for McIntyre out on the left side. McIntyre floats it across into the box, headed up.
Come on, Eric.
And now Hammond is going to give himself a chance, perhaps. Coming in from behind, that was Josh Harris. Got a deflection in his favor, and Rob Tuttle has to turn around and hustle back defensively for the Warriors. Substitution now
Go, Dan.
for the Whippets. We see Derek Bragg headed off. And I think that's Dan Rothar who's come back on, number 17, it is. McIntyre up for the header, but lost it out over the touchline. Another throw in for Downingtown. Well, the Westchester Henderson up on top early here in the 5th minute on a PK. Fred Chambers, the lucky guy to go to the spot, and he got the job done past Zach Collins. That's all we have up on the board here. But right now, Downingtown, their first serious challenge, but Dave Flamer there to help out goalkeeper Steve Crahak, and now the Warriors are going to come back in. Here's a shot from distance. Crahak takes it on a long first hop. Then he outlets nicely here to McIntyre on the move. Coming across to Stevenson to help with the defense. And when McIntyre released it back central, he tried to find John Elliker, and they say that Hammond committed a foul on Elliker. Not so sure about that one, but we don't get the vote up here in the booth. O'Donnell working on Rothauer. O'Donnell out wide. Ahead. 1-2 attempt there by the Warriors, didn't quite connect. Hammond can't handle it at the midfield line, and now McIntyre, Chambers, boy, he really drilled that at Chambers. Chambers wasn't able to handle it. Hammond takes a spill, no foul, they say. McIntyre cuts it inside, but right past Fred Chambers. The long outlet by Downingtown, picked off at midfield by Rob Tuttle. Tuttle curls it out wide, but headed away over there by number 23, Chris Brenza. Once again, the Whippets try the left flank. Hammond is going to give chase. The Warriors retain possession, and now they bring it across the midfield line. Ryan Marks had it initially. O'Donnell has it now. He goes out wide looking for Sean Osborne. Osborne's going to try to get the corner. A quick one-time serve there. Nice job by Osborne. Once he got a half step, he didn't waste any time getting that ball across, and Chambers nearly able to redirect that one, and Osborne had to let that one play. He was offsides, and the referee is just going to allow Zach Collins to play this and get a punt out of it. Often that's the better option than to call the offsides, because then when the ball goes down to the ground, a lot of keepers can't get as much distance on their outlet. Mike Berard plays it up the right side. Marks after it. And Marks cannot catch up to this ball before it runs over the touchline. And substitution for Downingtown on the far side there. That may have been Shane Hurley who just stepped in. A freshman for Downingtown. We'll see if we can get a positive ID on him for you. Restart opportunity here for Henderson, just on the defensive side of midfield. Elliker puts the foot to it. Ronzon heads it right back, and now Tuttle. And Tuttle and Hammonds collide. Wow. Well, no call. Tuttle just drops it in. O'Donnell now on the move. O'Donnell has it poked away. Nicely there by Greg Hahn. That gives the Downingtown defense a chance to reset here. Ronzon heads it into the middle. And the Warriors are going to reset this one across the back. Tuttle, plenty of time to check his options here. Brings it out to the left side. He's going to go right down the line looking for Chambers. Chambers is going to have to get around Ronzon. Not easy to do. Ronzon just leaves it inside for Schneider. Schneider plays it out. Tuttle coming inside, picks it off. And now the Whippets try the left side. Mike Barrar heads it right back in, comes right back out. Funny how that works sometimes. You send the long ball in, next thing you know, it's right back at your feet. O'Donnell picks it up in midfield, slices one out here towards the corner. On the move was McIntyre, tried to slide for possession, couldn't do it. Ronzon real steady right there. Oh, nice 1-2 between Ronzon and Greg Hahn there. Poked away finally by Sean Osborne of the Warriors. It's going to be a goal kick for Downingtown. Just outside, 15 minutes remaining in this one. In case you just joined us, the Downingtown Whippets, the host team in the blue and yellow striped shirts here tonight. The Warriors of Westchester Henderson have pulled into town. They're in the all maroon. They're up on top here, 1-0.
Get it back, Mark, get it back. Woo.
Well, for so many years, Downingtown has been the 900-pound gorilla in this league. But they have a relatively young team here. Look out. Fred Chambers picked this one off. He's got one man to beat. Chambers he's going to get into the box alone. Here's Chambers. He slots it low. Goal! Fred Chambers.
Number 9, Fred Chambers on the score for the Warriors.
Well, Zach Collins was hung out to dry on that one. He did everything he could, came out to cut the angle, but Fred Chambers one-on-one is going to get most of those, and he got that one. And you can see the explosive speed right there of Fred Chambers. And the Warriors extend their lead to 2-0 here. That goal coming in. Let's see here. We're going to put that one in the 26th minute. Chambers with 2 goals here tonight. Marks spilled on the far side by the Downingtown defense. Here they come up the left side. That was Greg Turner, I believe, who had trouble handling that ball. Turner, one of the seniors honored tonight, along with his twin brother, Kevin. Ball down the far side and out. It's going to be a throw in for Downingtown. Rothauer collides over there, and a foul, I believe, is going to be called against the Warriors. It is. Restart here for Downingtown. Pretty far out, but at least this time they'll be able to get the serve it into the box. They really have not been inside the 18 very much at all here tonight in the first half. The Warriors defense really doing a pretty good job on the Whippets tonight. This one, however, is going to get in there, and look out, it's up high, it's still alive. There's a header goalward, but Crahek had recovered. Crahek went out for the initial serve, didn't get it, but alertly moved back and was able to cover up I'm not sure who had the head on that one for Downingtown. Might have been Josh Harris. Stevenson brings it down, drops it back. Look out, here's Mike George on the move. So good idea by, I believe that's number 20, Shane Hurley over there, just a freshman. Nope, I'm sorry. That's 23, Chris Brenza in there, the central defense for Downingtown. Elliker pops it up. Ball played back, and look out, here's Greg Turner on the move. He's got one man to beat. Oh, look at Elliker hustle back and get control, and then he loses it, I think, over the touchline. He does. So Downingtown's going to get a possession throw in here deep. Let's see how the Warriors defend this one. Flaherty got a head on it, touched inside by Chambers, and now here they come on the quick breakout. Chambers streaking up the center of the field if O'Donnell can see him. O'Donnell turns it inside. Now he's got to look, sees Chambers out wide, but picked off in there nicely by Chris Brenza. And then Chambers commits the foul. So a good counterattack there for Westchester Henderson, but good central defense on the part of Chris Brenza to break it up. And now here's Mark Ronzon. Ronzon's going to go long. And the Whippets bring it down. Look out, here's an opportunity into the corner. Greg Hahn moving up, but this one is going to drift over the byline. McIntyre right there to make sure nothing went awry on that one. And a substitution now in the back for Downingtown. Looks like number 4, Brian Rawlings, is going to head out. And into the match, senior Sean Ashenhurst. Ashenhurst was in a little bit ago. First substitution of the night for Downingtown earlier in the match. He's back in there and got up for that head. Ronzon played it ahead. Harris, Josh Harris couldn't quite control that one, and now McIntyre on the left side. Cuts it back in the middle. Back to Tuttle. Tuttle tries a diagonal. Mike George right there got a touch on it. O'Donnell forward to Chambers. Chambers tried to get it back to him, but Ashenhurst was right there. He dumps it out over the near touchline, though. It's a throw-in for Westchester Henderson.
For the Warriors, number 22, Sean Osborne, returns the lineup.
Well, Fred Chambers is going to get a break for Coach Mike Lorbach. Sean Osborne back into the match. Rob Tuttle throws it back in. Nice little touch pass out here for Mike George if he can keep it alive, and a referee on the near side said that one popped out over the line. Little slipping and sliding there by Greg Hahn, but he recovers and drops it back to Ronzon. Ronzon comes forward for Turner. Nice little slip move there to Rothauer. Rothauer drops it back to Stevenson, and the Whippets are on the move. Play on, says our referee. Good no call there, but picked off by O'Donnell, and the advantage fell apart shortly thereafter, and then a foul committed at the midfield line results in a restart here for Westchester Henderson. Well, as we mentioned, these two teams banged heads twice last year when Downingtown was a little bit stronger team, and just two memorable matches in the Ches-Mont League. A lot of those players from both teams off in the college ranks. Adam Edwards, of course, the longtime Downingtown goalkeeper, having himself quite a season as a freshman at Bucknell. We know that Kyle Hicks is up at Stony Brook from Westchester Henderson. Greg Flaherty's down at Towson, the Henderson goalkeeper. Steve Hayworth, who scored a ton of goals for the Whippets last year, playing at Elizabethtown, one of the top Division III schools in the country. They've always had a great program up there under Skip Roderick. Right now it's John Elliker coming up out of the back for the Warriors. And Ryan Marks on the far side, sliding, cannot keep it alive. It's going to be a throw in here for Downingtown. Quickly they put it back in play. Dropped into Shane Hurley. Down into the left corner. Rothauer's giving chase. Defended over there by number 2, Mike Barrar. Still Rothauer playing for it. Still Barrar. Now they go down in a heap, and this is going to be a restart for the Whippets. Practically a corner kick at this location. Let's see if the Whippets can get one of these goals back here as we drop inside the 8-minute remaining mark, or the 32 minutes gone mark, if you want to say that. International style. The arm is up. Here's the serve right down the line and right at goalkeeper Steve Crahak. Crahak just reached up and grabbed that one. Mike George plays that one back to Bryce McIntyre. He has to turn it around, and now he's just going to dump it back to Crahak, who has to play it with his feet. Crahak under some pressure right there, just got that one off. Hurley knocks it down. Greg Hahn comes across and plays it. Elliker, though, knocked it out, and in midfield here, this is Dan Flaherty, I believe. Flaherty on the move, but could not quite catch up to that one. It ran over the touchline. Substitution now for Downingtown. Looks like number 3, Greg Turner, is going to head off. And number 24, well, that's interesting. Not sure who that is for Downingtown.
Jason Kolsevich.
Oh, Jason Kolsevich. Okay, well, he's listed as number 16 on our roster, but he's wearing number 24 tonight.
I'm not even getting it.
McIntyre plays it across, headed out. And here's Flamer from the other side. Chambers was in loose, but couldn't control it. Downingtown looking for an offsides call. They didn't get it. And now Kolsevich. Kolsevich, who had himself a heck of a game against Radnor earlier this year. Here's Josh Harris on the move. Heavy-duty collision right there with Mike Barrar, and Harris lost that one. Dave Flamer down the right side and out over the far touchline. Throw in here for Chris Brenza.
Don't brag about it.
Brenza drops it in. Kolsevich heads it up. Back to Brenza. This one off Mike George, and looks like Downingtown's going to get a throw in here again.
No, I didn't do like that.
Flamer gets a head on it. Elliker sends it up over the head of Sean Osborne, and Downingtown's going to gather it in here at the midfield line. Mark Ron's on now. So over the last few minutes, Downingtown's starting to push this game up the field a little bit. Ball sent long and out over the byline. Now it's going to be a goal kick for Westchester Henderson. No, they're pointing to the corner flag. I missed that one. Must have deflected off one of the Warriors on shortly after it was kicked. So Downingtown with an opportunity here. Shane Hurley is going to pick it up, the freshman. Hurley, an outswinger, headed away nicely there by O'Donnell, I believe. And now here's Chambers on the move down the left side. And Chambers let that one get away from him. Sean Ashenhurst. Boy, that was interesting. Ashenhurst just stood his ground. He had Chambers eyeballed for about 20 yards, and then when Chambers let that touch get away from him, Ashenhurst just stuck his foot in there and knocked it aside and slowed down the tide there. O'Donnell in traffic out to the left touchline. 3 striped shirts after him, and O'Donnell gets a deflection and a throw-in for his team right here. Chambers is going to throw this one in. Well, we have some young ball boys out here, and they're not necessarily paying attention to this one. Before the game, they announced that the U9 Downingtown Spirit team was the ball boys here, and they're just having a good time out here, but sometimes they're not always facing the play.
Number 22, Eric Hammond, returning to the lineup for Downingtown.
Jason Koltovich is going to head out. Eric Hammond is going to head in for Coach John Hatton. The Whippets right now just inside 3 minutes remaining in this half. And here's the whistle. Finally, we're going to get back in play. Zach Collins puts it up. Didn't quite get it to the midfield line. Sean Osborne got the initial header, but Downingtown played it away. Headed back to the center circle. Freddie Chambers went after it. Ashenhurst was right up his back, and now here's Ryan O'Donnell. O'Donnell out to the right side. Nice through ball there, looking for Mike George, but good defense over there. Chris Brenza. Down into the corner. This one I think is going to run out. It is. And it's a goal kick for Downingtown. Well, the temperature continues to drop here at the Serafino Stadium. Really cooling down. Probably supposed to get down into the 40s this evening. So perhaps a little bit more. It's definitely coat and hat weather for the spectators here. Of course, the players not so bad. They're nice and warm running around out there. O'Donnell leaves this one for Elliker at the midfield line. Elliker doesn't see any movement up front, so he just launches this one and into the central defense, headed away by Schneider. Tuttle plays it ahead. Hahn picks it up for Downingtown, but Fred Chambers was right there, and now he leaves it into the center of the field for O'Donnell. O'Donnell's going to launch from distance, and Zach Collins just able to get his fingertips on that one. There were a couple of Warriors up there who could have redirected that one, but it got all the way through. Collins covered it up. Dan Flaherty slots it into O'Donnell. O'Donnell, nice move there. Finds George. George is going to try to gain the box. George in, shot just over the bar. Wow, that was close. The Warriors were inches away from a third goal right there. Zach Collins on the 6-yard line for the Whippets. Kind of hooked that one. Mike George steaming ahead. Maybe one last chance for George, but Schneider, a nice job coming across from the central defense to cover up. That, as the clock expires here, I don't think the Warriors are going to get this one back in play necessarily. Well, 3, 2, 1, and there is the horn sounding the end of our first 40 minutes of play. Well, tonight, form holding perhaps. The Westchester Henderson Warriors are going to take this one into the break, up 2-0 on the host Downingtown Whippets. We hope you're enjoying this Ches-Mont League contest. I'm Jeff Elliott. This is ESVN, the Eastern Soccer Video Network. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back for second half action. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed your little halftime break. Our combatants have returned to the field here. Downingtown is going to get the opening tap in the second half, and we see right off the bat that number 22, Eric Hammond, is out here to start the second half for the Whippets. He did not start the match earlier tonight. But right now, the Warriors have that 2-0 lead, and Downingtown has a lot of work ahead of them here if they're going to get back into this one. They did not really have a lot of opportunities in the first half. And Downingtown has to figure out a way, I think, to get the ball forward and hold possession. They tended to want the long ball a little much and feel that maybe was the only way they could get behind the Warrior defense. But that didn't seem to work too well. So here's Mark Ronzon coming forward, and he gets turned around here by Dave Flamer, so he just drops it all the way back to Brent Schneider. Schneider plays it inside for Stevenson. Stevenson, challenged by O'Donnell, gets it out wide. Shane Hurley. Here's Hurley now down the right side. Quickly the double team from the Warriors. Hurley gets turned around, has to drop it back, and right off the bat here, Downingtown doing a much better job, and they may get an opportunity here. Just missed. That was Dan Rothauer, who attempted a shot, but it was blocked down right in the center of the Warrior defense. Here's Greg Hahn, gets it ahead for Rothauer. Rothauer redirects, but this was going to be picked up by Rob Tuttle. Tuttle leaves for Mike George, and then McIntyre long down the left side. Tuttle on the move. Tuttle working his way, trying to get around Brian Rawlings. And Rawlings knocks this one out just before Tuttle can turn the corner, but Mike George is going to get a throw in here for the Warriors, deep in Downingtown territory. George threw it over the head of Sean Osborne. It was headed out initially by the Downingtown defense. Now they get control. Up the right side they come. Hurley tried to get it ahead to Eric Hammond, but Hammond could not control at the far touchline. It's going to be a throw in for Westchester Henderson. Ball headed forward, just eluded Eric Hammond. Westchester Henderson sent it long, but Downingtown defense right there. Here's Josh Harris in the middle of the field, pokes it ahead, but touched away by McIntyre, and now Elliker just brings it out to the near side into the empty space. Dave Flamer hustling back for it. Greg Hahn beats him to the ball initially, and then a bit of a late whistle there as Hahn stepped over Flamer, literally, and a foul called. Mike Barrar steps up to it here for the Warriors. Osborne, a little slip header. Right there, though, was Schneider, Brent Schneider. Hurley picks it up on the far side. The Whippets drop it back, and they're going to drop it back one more, and now Schneider's going to have to hustle. He gets it outside to Rothauer. Get that ball! Chambers right on him. So they drop it back to Collins, and look out, Collins almost stripped there by Dan Flaherty. Ryan O'Donnell in midfield, down the line, looking for Osborne. Osborne had come out of the middle, defended there by Brian Rawlings. Osborne is going to get square and cut it into the box, headed away by Ronzon. O'Donnell nods it down, looking for Chambers. Flaherty picks it up. Flaherty has shown some quickness and skill here, just a sophomore for the Warriors. And here's Collins, who has to come out and take that ball off the feet of Freddie Chambers. Chambers, of course, if you just joined us late, scored both Westchester Henderson goals in the first half. The first one he scored from the penalty spot after a foul in the box, but the second one, he just outraced the Downingtown defense, got in alone on Zach Collins, and in the 26th minute, put his second goal up on the board. That's where we stand here, 2-0 in favor of the visitors from Westchester Henderson, and Chambers is not going to get to this one. Deflected it, Ronzon up for the header. Hahn nods it inside, looking for Harris, but right there was Barrar. Barrar sent it forward. The Whippets cut it out, but now it's all the way back to Elliker. Elliker just slots it ahead for O'Donnell. O'Donnell turns it long, looking for Chambers. Ronzon cut off the passing lane there. O'Donnell gets it again. Leaves it for McIntyre, and now Barrar. Barrar up the line looking for Chambers. Right there was Flaherty as well. Flaherty and number 6, Josh Harris, going at it. And O'Donnell, wow, no foul call there. A little surprised about that. It looked like O'Donnell just took that man out. Here's Osborne, he's in loose, shoots wide, and a goal kick for Downingtown.
That's one of my lines.
Zach Collins got it out to the center circle. Josh Harris got a foot on it, poked it ahead, but Barrar was right there. Harris got Barrar's exit, and now look out. Here's Hammond breaking through. Tuttle has Hammond right on his back and just calmly turns it out to McIntyre. McIntyre brings it all the way to the near side. Here's Ronzon surging forward. Flamer right on him. Flamer got a toe poke there, nicely done, and the Warriors with a chance to get it ahead to Chambers. Chambers one touches inside to O'Donnell. O'Donnell has the outside run from McIntyre. McIntyre back into the middle. Chambers is right there. He chests it back. O'Donnell coming forward but stripped. Nice job there by Greg Hahn. And Flaherty and Flaherty tangled up in there with Dan Rothauer, I believe. Downingtown's going to get a restart just on the other side of the midfield line here, and a substitution for the Warriors. Dan Flaherty out. And I didn't see who came in, but here's the restart. Sent up towards the 18. Shane Hurley up for it. Nods it in. Cut across the box and out of bounds, they say. Okay, over the byline it looks like. Or no. Yeah, must be an offsides call. The arm straight up for an indirect kick, so that's what we have on the far side. Crahek gets the foot to it. Headed up by Mark Stevenson, but Rothauer slipped on his way to the ball. Hammond is going to try to get around the outside. Hammond, look at Hammond go. He's into the box, sends it across, but picked off by Barrar. Coming in from the weak side, that was Greg Hahn. Had it gotten past Barrar, Hahn would have been able to walk that one in, but wasn't to be on that trip for the Whippets. Here's another service into the box, and Crahek is going to have to get out. He collided with his own defender. But the net result was the Warriors got it out of there. Chambers got a foot on it. Here comes the Warriors had brought it forward. Downingtown breaks it down. Now Schneider, not being pressured, brings it outside to Ronzon. Flamer steps up, and Ronzon just slides it down the line and out. It's going to be a throw-in for the Warriors. Barrar. Looking for Chambers. O'Donnell's going to pitch in. And quickly Schneider turns it out in front of the on-rushing Ryan O'Donnell. Well, Downingtown's done a little bit better job here so far in this half of getting forward, but you just kind of get the sense that this may not be their night. 2 goals may be just a little too much to ask right now, and a third goal for the Warriors would be enormous. Here's Mike George working through traffic, picked off by Stevenson. McIntyre turns it up. George plays it back. Well, some acrobatics on the far side, keeping it alive for the Warriors. This one out. And a throw in for Downingtown. Dave Flamer in the center circle. Little 1-2. They tried to get it out to O'Donnell, picked off by Ronzon. Barrar now working on Hammond. Still Barrar. Here comes the double team, and Barrar knocked down as he dumped that one inside. And hold on, we're gonna. Looks like we're gonna get a card here, and it's gonna be issued to Mark Ronzon. So he's gonna have to step aside for a moment. Of course, 2 yellows and you're done for the game, but that only the first one for Ronzon. 2 yellows for an individual. Ball sent into the box. Zach Collins up, drops it momentarily, and picks it right up though. And that would appear to be number 9, Kevin Kalbach, I believe, into the match for the first time, replacing Ronzon. Kalbach, the unenviable task of keeping an eye on Fred Chambers right there. Dave Flamer on the move, so is Eric Hammond inside to Chambers. Chambers 1-on-4 in a crowd, still with control, leaves it outside for McIntyre. Nice play there by the Warriors to get that one into the box, but just an equally good job by the central defense of Downingtown, pushing that away. Ryan O'Donnell on a waltz right now, but can't quite stay with it. Flamer has Chambers, but had it poked away as he tried to serve. O'Donnell now goes diagonally and sees Mike George wide open. George chests it down into the box and then sent wide. Well, George was about a half step away from unloading there, and a foul committed on the far side there by Rob Tuttle. Restart here for Downingtown. Long down the line. Tuttle sends it right back up the left side. O'Donnell has it stripped, but it goes to McIntyre, and now Elliker. Elliker goes long, but headed down by Downingtown. Sean Osborne plays it out. And then a long service forward. Broken up in the back by Downingtown once again. So the Whippets defense keeping things close here, hoping that their offense can find a goal. Elliker heads it aside. Flamer, and wow, a really late call there. And this one I think is actually going all the way back just outside the 18.
Get it down, Blue!
And this is a great opportunity for Downingtown. This one's going all the way back to where Hammond collided. I didn't think Flamer committed a foul right there. In fact, it was just a late whistle on the far side. And now let's see, Downingtown here. Well, if they could get one here, it could get interesting for sure. Stevenson, Josh Harris, Dan Rothauer. Let's see what the Whippets have cooked up here. Harris just lays it back to Stevenson, who was on the move, broken up by the wall of Westchester Henderson, played back in. McIntyre nods it out wide. Shane Hurley gives chase down the right side, defended over there by number 8, Bob Theon. the junior. He came in replacing Dan Flaherty a bit ago. Now a substitution, a couple of substitutions here. 2 for Downingtown. Looks like Sean Ashenhurst, I think.
Returns to the lineup for Downingtown, along with number 39, Pat Powers.
Nope, I'm sorry. That is number 39, and that is going to be freshman Pat Powers into the match, getting his first action of the night, replacing Dan Rothar, and Mark Ronzon is back in. You didn't figure he'd be on the sidelines too long. Here's the serve into the box, headed up by O'Donnell. Sent back in, but Crahek just watches this one go wide to the left. Crahek almost got a hand on that for a corner kick, but pulled it down at the last moment. And a substitution for Westchester Henderson. Fion is going to go off. And Flaherty is back in. Crahek gets the foot to this to the center circle. Powers contested that over Flaherty. The Warriors try the left side. Mike George on the move. Touched aside. George, a little sliding poke, almost retained possession, but Downingtown gets it up to midfield. Tuttle handballed it. The referees didn't see it though, and now here's a nice serve. Headed forward, and look out right up the middle. And Crahek comes out at about the 16-yard line, right in front of young Pat Powers, who, what a moment that would have been for him. As we said, over the years, Downingtown typically does not have many freshmen that make the varsity roster. There are 3 listed tonight. Shane Hurley, who's played quite a bit. Pat Powers just came in, and the third one, Steve Forg, has not seen the field yet, but that could happen. Part of that is because Downingtown is such a big high school. I mean, they just have so many upperclassmen try out. It's just tough for freshmen to crack the lineup here. And a foul on the far side committed by the Warriors. And Mark Ronzon is going to hustle across the field and take this one. And Downingtown has 4 people back now. Finally, Rawlings steps forward, but Westchester launches this one out, and look out, Chambers on the move, and oh my goodness gracious. Wow, that was close. Schneider just didn't get a real good distribution there, and maybe didn't realize how close Fred Chambers was to him, and had Chambers stripped that one, and it would have been off to the races. Greg Hahn can't get it. Up high though, Rawlings. Rawlings is going to get a chance here. He pokes it out wide. Nicely done. Hurley down the line looking for Hammond, but Hurley was a little wide of the mark. It's over the far touchline. Westchester Henderson still up on top here, 2-0. Both their goals coming in the first half. Neither team has been able to find the net here in the first. Now we're in the 19th minute. Here's a long outlet. Chambers on the move. Coming from the middle though. That is Brent Schneider, and Schneider showed me a little speed right there. Not too many folks can catch up to Fred Chambers. And now a substitution for the Warriors. Number 18, Mike George, is going to head off, and it looks like number 13, I believe, Donovan Moran, the senior. Barrar throws it in. Ronzon heads it aside. Dan Flaherty contested, and now, oh, what a bullet, and what a save by Zach Collins. Ryan O'Donnell just shakes his head. I think O'Donnell thought he had one, and for the briefest of moments, it looked like he had Collins beaten, and then suddenly Collins flashed hard to his left and parried that one down. Nice save by Zach Collins. foul at midfield. Downingtown gets a restart here. Tuttle knocks it up. O'Donnell. Now Warren. Sean Osborne on the move. Osborne has one man to beat. There's the shot low. Collins parries it, and then Chambers tried to follow the ball, still on the floor. Osborne can't get around the defense of Downingtown, and I believe that was Brian Rawlings who stone-footed the Warriors right at the 18 because they had an empty net to shoot out there. Collins was down during the scramble there. But right now, Westchester Henderson is going to get a restart. And we have passed the 1 hour mark in this one. That means we've also passed the halfway mark of the second stanza. Elliker is going to send this one into the box. Headed goalward by Osborne, but not much on that one. No problem for Collins. Zach Collins, Greg Hahn touches it inside. And Josh Harris perhaps got that one on the forearm. No call. Play on, says our referee, and the Warriors gain control in the center circle. Long to go and outside to Fred Chambers. Chambers 1-on-2 right now. Touches it aside, pulls it back, is going to try to get down to the line. Still, Chambers is after it. It's inside. And whoa, just underneath Chambers. Brian Rawlings put it out wide. Barrar sidesteps one Downingtown player. That was Greg Hahn, and now O'Donnell has it. He takes it over to the far side of the field around Mark Stevenson. Little 1-2 attempt there, but Powers sniffed it out. O'Donnell now on the left foot, deflected and pounded out at the 18. Hammond can't control. Elliker one touches it wide to Tuttle. Hurley up to work on Tuttle, but Warren now gains control down the left side for the Warriors. Osborne is going to try to track it down before it goes out. He does. Gets back inside, touches it inside. Chambers was there, but so was Mark Ronzon. Bryce McIntyre now leaves for Tuttle. Tuttle comes diagonally looking for Dave Flamer. Greg Hahn was right there. And now Hammond on the move. Elliker sidestepped him, but now he's out of position. Hammond now working on Tuttle. Hammond's got the speed. You can guess that, but look at John Elliker hustle back and atone for his little miscue up there, up the field. Here's a ball into the box. Hammonds is in, but it just got past him, and Tuttle is going to get to send this one out. Stevenson has it, though, and right now Downingtown with an opportunity to press in here. Hurley out wide. Hurley wants to serve. He gets square. Cuts it across the box. Headed down, and oh, great serve there from Shane Hurley, but didn't quite work. Chambers tried a dummy move, but Ronzon was right behind him. Headed out by Tuttle. O'Donnell now finds McIntyre down the left side. McIntyre sends it long, looking for either Osborne or Chambers. Deflected off Osborne and then bicycled out of there by Brent Schneider. Flamer sliding tackle there by Josh Harris. And then Harris can't get through the two Warriors right there, and Flamer has a lot of room down the right side. Chambers is calling for it in the right corner. Flamer cuts it back inside. Wants Osborne. Osborne touches it inside. There's Chambers. Swept away by Downingtown. Chambers hustles. Ball deflects into the box, and Downingtown's going to gather it up. Schneider out to Ronzon. Well, some dicey moments for Downingtown, but that defense has bent and not broken here in the second half. They've done their job. The offense just can't quite break through the backside of the Westchester Henderson Warriors, and that's part of the reason the Warriors are 11-2-1 this year. They don't make it easy for you. Osborne has it stripped over on the far side by Hurley. Hurley down the line, picked off by O'Donnell at midfield. O'Donnell diagonally looking for Chambers. Can't get it over Ronzon though. Barrar. O'Donnell. O'Donnell tries again. Flamer's going to give it a shot this time. Ron's on under some pressure. Flamer leaned down right there. And the Warriors are going to get a shot here from putting it in front of the frame. They're just outside the box, about 6 yards off the end line. Sort of like a shortened corner almost. Here's the ball across the box, headed up initially by Josh Harris. Long out, looking for Hammond. Hammond and Tuttle. Tuttle sensed Hammond coming, so he just poked to the side and gave his defense a chance to recover here. Just inside 15 minutes left in this one. Downingtown needs 2 goals to get level. Substitution now for the Whippets. We see Greg Hahn stepping aside. Harris taken down, again no call. Ball sent into the middle. Chambers tracks back, lays it back for Flamer. Flamer now turns up the jets, looks for Chambers. Chambers on, Ron's on. Good support in defense by Brent Schneider behind, so Chambers goes into the middle. Tried to get it to Warren, but Warren was a little bit late getting there. O'Donnell now in the center circle. And that is number 19, Tim Connor, just into the match for the Warriors over there on the far side defensively. Barrar down the line, picked off by Powers, and they're going to call the foul on Dave Flamer. Well, Westchester Henderson, we can tell you, a little bit like Downingtown in the sense, a year ago, in the sense that this year they are loaded with seniors. And, they start 7 or 8 seniors. So this is kind of the year for Henderson because it'll be a whole different mix next season. Downingtown went through that last year. Strathaven and Radnor, 2 other power teams here in the western suburbs, also facing loss of many talented seniors. But as always, soccer will go on, and it's always interesting to see who comes in to take the place, whether it's individuals on a given team or what teams start to climb the ladder. Westchester East, for example, a very good young team who may step into the breach next year. Right now it's Dave Flamer trying to work forward. Downingtown works it out. Barrar stumbles and then tracks this one out of bounds, and hold on here, a substitution for the Warriors. And I think Sean Osborne is going to come back in. He's going to replace Fred Chambers. Down the line go the Whippets. Bronzon heads it up. Let me start all over again. Down the line go the Warriors. Bronzon heads it up. And a foul called here. The Whippets are going to restart. Momentary lapse of reason there by your announcer. Danny Rothauer gets a deflection, but Crayheck, I think, is going to get this one on the first bounce. Crayheck has not been too busy here throughout the night. Probably just the way he wants it. Long outlet, gets all the way down near the 18. Collins is going to get to play this with his feet just a step outside the penalty area. Flamer now turns and goes up the line. Just ahead of Pat Powers down the line, looking for number 15. Just into the match, that's Scott Loudenslager. Loudenslager in for Westchester Henderson. Flaherty knocks it down. Powers drops it to Schneider. Well, some freshmen and sophomores getting some real good airtime here for Coach John Hatt of the Whippets.
Hey, Mark.
Ball out on the near side. Throw in for Downingtown. Mark Ronzon into Mark Stevenson. The two seniors connect. They're going to drop it back to Schneider. Schneider forward. Powers. I'm sorry, that was Rothar. Rothar takes it out wide. Sent forward by Brenza. Comes right back and out. It's going to be a throw in for Downingtown on the far side. Chris Brenza. Ball hopped up and off the hand of Eric Hammond, and, well, accidental, but pretty blatant nonetheless. And restart here for the Warriors. Well, we said at the beginning of this half that Downingtown needed to figure out a way to get the ball forward and then hold possession and get their midfielders into the play. They haven't really been able to accomplish that too well. They've had a couple of trips that have looked promising, but for the most part, the Warriors have kept the Whippets at bay here tonight. And in the meantime, they've given Zach Collins a few things to think about. Here's Barrar. Barrar trying to turn around Hammond. Play on, says our referee. Josh Harris at the top of the 18 takes a shot, but it deflects off Rob Tuttle. Out wide, that is Kevin Turner, number 7, and he tries to turn it across the box and puts it behind the frame. It's going to be a goal kick. And now substitutions for each team. Looks like Fred Chambers back into the match, replacing Donovan Warren for Henderson, and Shane Hurley is going to step aside for Downingtown. He's being replaced, and I haven't gotten a positive ID on it here yet. We'll get it for you in a moment. Number 3, Greg Turner. So Turner comes in defensively and immediately gets a touch on the ball. Powers just turns it back. Schneider, look out, on the move there. That was number 15, Loudensberger, or Loudenslager, I should say. Oh, I'm sorry, that's right, number 9, my mistake. Kevin Kalbach, who is coming on defense, number 9. And here's a late substitution for Coach John Hatt. Josh Harris is going to step aside. And there's the other freshman, Steve Ford, who's going to get a chance to get a taste of this traditional rivalry right here. Fred Chambers with some space. He's just going to send this one long, looking for Sean Osborne. Chris Brenza tracks it down at the far side. Still in. Osborne stayed up on his feet, and now he gets it inside to Loudenslager. He can't handle Chambers on the move, but right there, Zach Collins. Collins drops it down. Powers sends it forward on the move. Kalbach. Kalbach can't get it. Dave Flamer does. Kalbach stays after it. Flamer's going to pick it up, though. Going to try to get around Schneider, and then Kalbach tracking back, got a foot on it. And now finally, Downingtown didn't get it out of there. Loudenslager had a chance. Finally, the Whippets poke it loose, but Flaherty now. O'Donnell just nudges it ahead. Chambers, O'Donnell gets it back. He's into the box. He's got room, but Zach Collins, another great save to cut it off. Chambers shoots from distance, and it was deflected and in. Oh, boy. Well, I'm not sure who's going to get credit for that one. Fred Chambers doing a lot of the cheering. Not quite sure. We don't have to. I sort of had my eye on the shooter on that one, and
Chambers with the score for the Warriors.
there we go. The stadium announcer, Fred Chambers, with the hat trick tonight. He got the deflection there. Nothing Collins could do about that one. And now the Warriors, energized, perhaps are going to try it again, and Loudenslager just over the top right there. Wow. Well, Chambers' goal coming in. Oh, let's see here. The 74th minute. And Downingtown's going to have a tough time pulling out of that hole, I think, right now. Zach Collins at the line, a couple of substitutions now. Dave Flamer is going to head out.
Number 8, Bob Feehan, line up now.
Bob Feehan in for the Warriors. Both coaches digging deep into the bench right now. And why not? Ford, the freshman, working on Flaherty, the sophomore. Ford gets it ahead to Ronzon. At this point, the Whippets would like to just get one up on the board, just to leave at least a little bit of a calling card for the Warriors. Ball out. 5 minutes exactly on our stadium clock here at the Serafino Field. And as we get late in the match, we want to just recount the scoring here for you. Fred Chambers in the 5th minute on a penalty kick put Westchester Henderson, the visitors, up on top 1-0. 19 minutes later, in the 26th minute, Chambers got loose on a breakaway, outran the Downingtown defense, and then Zach Collins did everything he could, came out and cut the angle, but Chambers slid it underneath him, rolled it across the line. That was the halftime score, 2-0. And then just a few moments ago in the 74th minute, Chambers got a deflection goal. And here we go, we're going to switch goalies. Downingtown. Ryan Williamson, the senior, is going to come in, replacing senior Zach Collins. So both senior goalkeepers getting some action tonight.
Now in goal, Ryan Williamson.
Last time we saw Downingtown, Williamson had the game against Radnor. So Coach Dave Hatt has been using both his senior goalkeepers this season. I'm sorry, not Dave Hatt, John Hatt. Dave Hatt's his father. Westchester Henderson has it down in the corner. They send it inside, swept away. Fred Chambers couldn't corral it, but he is going to get it. Compliments of Dan Flaherty, and then he launches high and long from about 30 yards. Williamson is going to get a chance to restart it here from the 6. The Whippets try to work it out of the back here. This one trickles out. Barrar just watches it. Ball down the line, touched inside by Loudenslager. Feehan got a touch on it, now Chambers. Chambers slots it outside. Poked back across and knocked down there by Callback. Chambers steps up to it, can't quite control, but stays after it. Chambers finally has it poked away. Now Flaherty. And Flaherty commits the foul from behind. Quickly restarted, hits Barrar on the back, and Barrar just sends it long. The Warriors content to make Downingtown use the entire field here. Well, the outcome of this one, not in doubt at this point as we hit the 2-minute mark. Ball popped up by Greg Turner there. Barrar sends it long though. Kalbach heads it down. Schneider on the outside has it poked away. And a throw in for Downingtown, and one last substitution perhaps for Coach John Hatt. Number 40, Steve Forg, is going to head to the sidelines.
Number 7, Kevin Turner, in the lineup for Downingtown.
And number 7, Kevin Turner, into the lineup. Ryan O'Donnell leaves it out wide for Tim Connor. Connor up the line, looking for Mike George. Headed away by Ashenhurst. The Whippet's going to give it one last chance here, perhaps. Dan Flaherty has different ideas, though, for the Warriors. Chambers now just up the line. Loudenslager trying to work past callback. They get tangled up. Sent inside, look out. Little miscommunication and a goal for Mike George. Well, tough one there for the Whippets.
Great team, Mike George.
Callback, and
For the Warriors.
Schneider couldn't quite decide who was going to take that one. Williamson came out to try to help him out, and just as the three Downingtown Whippets converged, Mike George came slicing through, redirected that one goalward, and in the 79th, well, the 80th minute actually, Mike George puts the fourth goal up on the board for the Warriors. Long ball sent forward. Hustling forward over there. One of the Whippets, but it's out, and that deflected off Rob Tuttle. Ball played in, 30 seconds left in this one. Rothauer tries to slip it. Here's the serve into the box. This one I think is going to run over the byline. It does. And the Warriors are going to be in no particular hurry to track that ball down and restart here. Greg Hahn's going to send it back in, but the clock ticking down. A corner kick, they say. I didn't see that, but Downingtown may not even get this one off.
Kick it!
There it is. And there is the horn, ending this Ches-Mont League contest. Well, this one, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much all in favor of the Westchester Henderson Warriors, the visitors tonight. They're going to up their league record to 3-1, and overall, they're going to move to 12-1-2. Of course, they're number 6 in the Southeastern PA coaches poll right now are the Warriors. Downingtown is going to drop to 500 overall at 7-2, and their league record will drop to 1-4. And as the stands begin to empty and the teams prepare to shake hands and pack it on up, I want to thank all of you for joining us here on ESVN, the Eastern Soccer Video Network. I'm Jeff Elliott. On behalf of my cameraman, Jim Eagle, we want to say so long from DeSerafino Field at Downingtown High School. Your final score here tonight, the Westchester Henderson Warriors 4, the Downingtown Whippets 0. So long, folks. We'll see you around the pitch.